Good afternoon and welcome to the Bionics Grand Challenge Winners Showcase event for 2021. Today is the culmination and celebration of all of this amazing hard work for our contestants who have put in amazing applications and gone through the boot camps and the pitch rounds and finally gotten through our judging day on the weekend. And of course, today we have a chance to recognise the winners of each of the categories who will then be put forward and receiving these amazing prizes. So well done to all of our contestants and your efforts. Thank you to all of the judges that have helped us get here and determine who the ideal winners are. And of course, thank you to our major sponsor, Motor Accident Insurance Commission, for your wonderful support. And of course, to Morgan's Financial for your support of the national awards and that prize there. And of course, there are the other minor innovation awards as well for each category. Thank you so much to our sponsors and supporters. Robin, you must be feeling amazing. This has been a ton of work and it's just so wonderful to have these such deserving winners in each of these categories about to receive these amazing project-changing prizes.
I am. I would like to say tonight that thank you so much to all of the entrants. We've got an outstanding suite of teams this year and you've worked extremely hard putting together amazing video pitches. And it's come together so beautifully on Saturday at the final judging, and tonight it'll be amazing to hear Mace make the announcement of the winners of the major categories and also to hear Morgan's announce the National Bionics Innovation Prize. I'm really, really excited to share all of that with you tonight.
Yeah, very exciting. And just such amazing innovative projects to see and just be taken through the work that's underway around the country and for each of the teams in these such important areas of work for Bionics. It's just wonderful to be a party to it and looking forward to celebrating those victories.
Absolutely. And we'll be having media this week, of course, media conference this week, where we'll see a greater showcase again of all of the projects. And that's going to be an amazing event as well. So
absolutely. The coverage we got last year was sensational. Certainly expecting even more so this year. So to welcome our winners to the showcase event, I'd like to welcome Dr. Dimity Dornan, our chairman, or chairperson, I should say. Dimity, over to you to welcome our winners, please.
Welcome to our winners showcase event. It's going to be a wonderful evening, and we had the most fabulous time last Saturday with the finals, the grand finals. I know that you are all so excited and waiting to hear, so I won't slow this up 1 minute.
I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Hi, my name is Neil Singleton and I'm the Insurance Commissioner with the Motor Accident Insurance Commission here in Queensland. Today, I'm proud to announce the winners of Bionics Challenge 2021, a unique Queensland-led competition designed to fast-track medical bionic innovations to change the lives of those living with serious injuries or loss of vital functions as a result of road trauma, complex disabilities, and/or chronic disease. While reducing road trauma is a key focus of our team at Mace, we are proud supporters of breakthrough medical devices, treatments and technological discoveries that improve recovery and reduce the mental and physical toll of their impairments.
Go. 3, 2, 1.
In partnership with Mace, Bionics Challenge 2021 has awarded 4 $50,000 major category prizes and a total of $40,000 in prizes, in addition to mentoring a suite of promising early stage bionic innovation teams. The 4 categories for the Bionics Challenge 2021 are bionic mobility, bionic senses, bionic implants and organs, and Bionics, the brain, Neurotech, and artificial intelligence. Before I announce the winners of each of these categories, I would like to also acknowledge all applicants for their interest and encourage them to continue their work in the bionic space. Your involvement brought out the best in all participants and resulted in a high standard of winning teams and projects. I would also like to thank Robin Stokes, Dimity Dornan, and the rest of the Bionics Queensland team for pulling the challenge together, particularly given the COVID-related disruptions along the way. In the Bionic Senses category of Bionics Challenge 2021, the winner of the $50,000 major category prize is University of Queensland innovator Dr. Anna Hatton and her team of local and international collaborators. Dr. Hatton's team is developing augmented vibrotexture, a breakthrough orthotic that is set to restore balance and foot sensation to those who live with the impacts of foot nerve damage and neuropathy. The new Insole will deliver the right level and type of tactile stimuli at the right time to improve overall balance and mobility. In the Bionics Implants and Organs category of Bionics Challenge 2021, the winner of the $50,000 major category prize is Dr. Fari Ahmadi and her team of innovators at Neurotech, a fast-emerging Queensland-based medtech startup. The Neurotech Bionic voice box is the world's first natural-sounding artificial voice box for larynx amputees that is enabled by artificial intelligence and worn as a non-invasive headset. Within Bionics Challenge 2021, I'm also proud to announce the winning innovation in the category of Bionics, the brain, Neurotech and AI. This year's $50,000 major categories prize goes to Cortex Brainwave Technologies, co-founded by Casey Fluger and Amy Rose Goody. Cortex is developing a new tunable near-infrared neurosensor and a new brain-computer interface therapy for the 1 in 5 Australians affected by acquired brain injury, learning disabilities, stroke, ADHD and autism. Alongside the major category prizes in Bionics Challenge 2021, MACE is providing an overall $40,000 in prizes to early stage Bionics Innovation Award winners. The 4 winning teams that will each receive $10,000 to further advance their innovation include Central Queensland University's Dr. Vanessa Bockazanian and her team of innovators from Australia, India and South America, who are advancing e-stimulation therapies for people impacted by neurological trauma and spinal cord injuries. University of Queensland biomedical innovator Dr. Antonio Bo and his collaborators at UQ and Metro North Hospital and Health Service, who are developing VR/AR-enabled sensory rehabilitation to accelerate occupational therapy for individuals with upper limb conditions. 2 Brisbane-based brothers and designers, Andrew and David Peterson, who are developing Gyrite, a haptic wearable that gives people with severe balance dysfunction the sensory feedback they need to stay upright. Queensland Brain Institute research leader Dr. Mathilde and her team, who are developing an individualised treatment for stroke recovery. This integrative and innovative system is set to employ automated monitoring of brain activity and AI-enabled computations to inform a customised approach to brain stimulation for stroke survivors.
Congratulations to Professor Laurent Prasad and team. What a wonderful award for you, Laurent. Your project is osseointegrated bionic limbs could pull more than their weight. Congratulations to all your team.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the vote of confidence very much. Maybe I'll start off by saying thank you for the investment and the encouragement as well. This type of work is going to really let us work on the device, improve it, so that it's going to improve the quality of the rehabilitation, both from an efficacy and from a safety perspective, which are really both quite important.
Yeah. And I think one of the other really important part of the award is it will help us to be a part and also hopefully develop the ecosystem that you are guys developing around Bionics in Queensland and in Australia as well. And we are very much looking forward to be part of developing this ecosystem.
Thank you, gentlemen. Very well deserved. Now let's sit back and watch your entry.
Hello, I am Adjunct Professor Laurent Prasad.
a bionic limb scientist based in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. And today, I'm delighted to present our project of research that will make a difference in the life of individuals suffering from limb loss who are choosing bionic solutions. Meet Rebecca, Anton, and one of our chief investigators, Caroline. They all use an osseointegrated implant. Their clinicians must make sure the bone and the implants bond strongly during rehabilitation. This triggers fear of loosening and infection. Dentists use an Ostel device providing quantitative information to diagnose implant stability. But the orthopedics industry relies heavily on qualitative evidence from medical images. Unfortunately, the rehabilitation with osseointegrated prosthesis is also guided by pain. There is a need for a medical device to diagnose stability of osseointegrated prosthesis. Clearly, bionic innovations improve significantly the life of amputees. However, implants must be removed in up to 20% of cases. This is not good enough. This is not good enough to restore safely daily mobility, let alone to perform challenging activities. I've put a service member here because I do a lot of work for the DoD. We are focusing on a well-defined group of customers. So that might raise some questions about the market size. So let's try to address these concerns. First, we will focus on a population susceptible to choose bionic solutions, with a market valued at over 5 million by 2025. Then we will expand to the global population of amputees, including 1 in 80 Americans who will be living with an amputation by 2050. This is millions of people. So this is a strategic market that is fast growing. All major providers of components are trying to find their way to enter this market. Our innovation is more likely to progress upward as a gold mine opportunity, but more work is needed to consolidate this prediction. So what is our innovation? We want to develop a medical device called Tomax 2.0 that integrates wearable loading sensors and a personalized neuromusculoskeletal model for a real-time animation of a digital twin of the residuum during load-bearing exercises. The good news is that we have used a prototype to publish evidence of TRL5 for each part of the device. The level of user skills needed in different contexts might be an issue. However, Tomax will be a game changer. It will give practitioners a first ever non-invasive and easy to use diagnostic device to assess implant stability that is critical to the rehabilitation and the long-term success of all osseointegrated solutions. In fact, all the projects you are going to see today will be depending on this work one way or the other. Tomax will make the unknown visible, but the success of the project will be all about improving safety, mobility, and quality of life. Our team of investigators has published over 820 articles. Some of us are ranked within the top 2% of experts worldwide. The whole team includes 14 experts in the fields of amputation, artificial limbs, bone and cut prosthesis, and technology transfer. So what are we going to do during the 12 months of this project? First, we will complete the proof of concept and achieve TRL5 for Tomax 2.0. Next, we will publish 3 articles. They won't present any patent-threatening information, but they will give us the credentials for subsequent grant applications and discussions with partners. At the same time, we will refine our commercialization pathway. This will help us to determine what will be the cost of equipment, how many units might be sold, who will be the clients, and what the reimbursement model will be. We have already identified 15 potential partners who manufacture and distribute implants, prosthetic components, or sensors. This includes 9 partners I have previously worked with as a consultant. We will primarily engage with Integrum, Osur, and Vald, based in Queensland. We will also apply for grants to develop Tomax 2.0 Plus to reach TRL 7 to TRL 9, including partnership grants. Approximately $154,000 will be required for this project. 68% will be provided as in-kind by Griffith University. We are requesting $50,000 or 32% of the budget. Thank you. This device will be a game changer because it will equip practitioners with the first ever non-invasive and easy to use diagnostic device that is critical for the rehabilitation and the long-term success of all osseointegrated solutions. This innovation will also be a game changer because it will empower end users by making their bionic integration visible to them. Simply, our innovation will make the unknown visible, but the big picture is to improve safety, mobility, and quality of life of individuals suffering from limb loss. We are very excited about this project, and we are looking forward to tell you more soon. Thank you for listening to our pitch.
Amazing work, and just congratulations again. The impact you can have on osseointegration and the acceptance of the recipients is incredible. And I think if you're excited, we are too, Professor Laurent, and really wonderful to see just how far your, not the pitch, but the work has come in the time that we've been working together. Just tell us a little bit about what this support is going to mean for you and the team by way of progressing your work.
Well, I would say, first and foremost, as Laurent mentioned in both the recorded presentation and his prior comments, what we're working to do is raise the technology readiness level of the device itself. And so this investment will really help us improve the quality and the efficacy of the rehabilitation programmings using the investment directly to strengthen the components and the products.
Wonderful. And it was amazing. Please, Laurent, yes.
Yeah, no, just to elaborate on what David's doing, we will be able to capitalize on David doing his magic by doing very advanced modeling of the residuum. And that will help us to hopefully provide an experience for the people suffering from limb loss, doing rehabilitation in a far less painful way and far more efficient way. So that hopefully that will make a very important, significant difference into the rehabilitation process for people suffering from limb loss who are choosing bionic solutions.
And Laurent, I'd love to congratulate you at this point too on your professorship in bionics at the Griffith University. I do believe the work that you're doing, and as many people watching today would realise, you're doing such amazing work across the bionic limb spectrum, the spectrum of work across bionic limbs. So I think that this is a great additional project as well to that suite of work that you're doing. And for those who are watching this video, I'd urge you to look for Professor Laurent Frossard's work as well in the wider sphere of bionic limbs.
That's right. Always terribly impressed with the range of published material, and the research has gotten you to this point, but even seeing the size of the team required and the many disciplines that have to come together and succeed in order to make this a reality. It really shows the complexity that of the problem your team are grappling with, and just how impressive it is that you're making solid progress. What would be the next thing we might see from your team that would be really hitting the map? Tell us where we're going to see you pop up next, and congratulate you further.
The next thing for us, the big milestone is really to develop what we call the digital twin. So it's basically the digital replica of a human that lives into the computer. It might be very complex to do that for the whole human and the whole body, But the beauty of working with people with amputation is we can actually focus the development of that model and the development of that digital twin for the specificity of the residuum. And that's complex enough as it is, but that will be a good milestone towards a bigger development. And thank you for congratulating me on the professor position. It turned out that Griffiths is actually a very good place to do this type of work because David has done a lot of work, which is why he's included in this grant and what he will be a key person to work on the ground to develop what's called the digital twin, the digital athletes. And in many ways, what we're trying to do is to replicate that type of modeling and very complex algorithm for understanding the locomotion and the design of bionic solutions for people suffering from limb loss.
Wonderful. Well, you're a wonderful example of the sort of teams and individuals in this emerging technology set that we want to support. And even in your presentation, the 15 partners, even yourself, how collaborative you are, the comments and the sharing and the team environment you foster. So thank you so much for your participation. Congratulations again on the award, and we can't wait to see what you'll do with that additional support.
Thank you. And congratulations also to Bionic Queensland, because you are going a great efforts to the rest of the community to develop this ecosystem, promoting bionics at large, particularly in Queensland, but also in the rest of Australia. So we are very much looking forward to be part of that as well.
Wonderful. Thank you. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Okay. So hopefully that gives you a view of the format we'll try and adopt. That first one, what we'll do actually, we'll go from Dimity announcing the winner, and we'll go straight into the 7-minute pitch reel, and then we'll come out of that into Q&A. So if that gives you comfort when your announcement is made, we won't come to you straight away. It'll go straight to the video playing. We think that'll lead to a smoother cut. And of course, there's editing that happens after this. So of course, we're not too stressed about that either. So if you do find something really goes amiss, then feel free to put your hand up. We can redo things as well. So
we'll look very polished when we're all finished. Yes.
With the magic of editing. Yeah, we've got Pixar on the line, ready to go. So, all right, let's move into our next announcement, which is sensors, isn't it? Yep, Bionic sensors.
Well, I'd like to congratulate Dr. Anna Hatton and her team for their amazing project, Augmented Vibrotexture, Sensory Bionics Tech for Balance Restoration for Foot Nerve Damage.
Hi, I'm Anna, leader of an interdisciplinary team of clinicians, engineers, neuroscientists, and industry partners located across Queensland, New South Wales, and Europe. Together, we create bionic solutions that enhance safe, active living through technology that augments the sense of touch. Meet Oliver, my father. He has type 2 diabetes. Diabetes can damage nerves in the feet that impair sense of feeling, known as neuropathy, resulting in balance and walking problems that lead to falls, injury, and physical inactivity. 1 in 6 of us will experience foot sensory loss due to over 100 different causes of neuropathy. Over 65% of people with neuropathy fall every single year, contributing to staggering healthcare costs, up to $4 billion a year in Australia alone.
Hi, I'm Cherie. In my experience as a podiatrist, current treatment and rehabilitation strategies to prevent falls in general populations, such as exercise programs, aren't effective in people with neuropathy as they overlook foot sensory damage. Our bionic solution, Augmented Vibrotexture Insoles, will improve balance and reduce falls risk in those with foot sensory loss by delivering 2 different types of enhanced tactile stimuli, frequency-tuned vibration and geometrically optimized texture. Our solution is driven by user need. Meet my patient, Jane.
By the time the brain tells me that I'm lurching a bit, it's too late. I think I need an early warning signal that I'm actually not orientated for safe balance. And I said to my husband, That's what I need to have in my shoes. Is when you hit those things, they make a noise and that you get a vibration in the car. And I said, I need something like that inside my shoe.
We've already developed multi-award-winning vibrating and textured insole prototypes. Our clinical trials have demonstrated that wearing textured and vibrating insoles substantially improve balance to an extent that has potential to reduce falls risk. Now, for the first time, Vibrotexture technology integrates these two systems in one. No other group has attempted to create a hybrid insole design, delivering multiple sources of sensory stimuli. Our Bionic innovation will boost the stimulation efficacy far beyond that of current products. Technical disclosure of our textured and vibrating insole design features are already in the public domain and demonstrate our sound IP strategy. This discoverable prior art protects our ownership of augmented vibrotexture technology, our freedom to operate, and paves the way for planned defensible patent applications. Our deep tech Bionic solution is operated via a mobile app, offering many competitive advantages for our product, such as inclusive and personalized healthcare, remote monitoring of biometric data, motivational prompts towards behavior change.
Hi, I'm Ingmars. Our product development is truly bionic. Through my experience in sensory neural encoding, we will use highly specialized technique called microneurography, which allows us to record signals from single sensory nerve cell out of 1,000 innervating foot, allowing us to engineer the most efficient augmentation device possible. Never before has technology at this resolution been used to tune insole design.
Our team comprises university academics, clinicians, and industry with outstanding diverse capability that will bring vibrotexture technology to realization.
Hi, my name is Lisa Pape, and I'm the founder of Walk with Path. As founder and CEO of Walk with Path, located in Denmark and London, I've led my team to a stellar record of achievements in assistive technology product design and commercialization. Walk with Path is a crucial member of this project, providing access to materials, manufacturers, touch points into target markets, and global distribution networks to leverage supply and scale up commercialization of our Bionic innovation. There are other connected insoles on the market or in development. However, none integrate haptic feedback to modulate walking in real time. Walk with Path's existing insole, to be integrated with Vibrotexture, is uniquely positioned to generate better health outcomes and compliance. The background technology is protected via worldwide patents, and we've already established freedom to operate with a patent lawyer. As we develop the insole technology together, integrating haptics and texture will further grow the patent family.
Hi, I'm Leanne. In my work as a diabetes educator, I witnessed firsthand the devastating consequences of neuropathy. Our expected global, national, and local market size specific to consumers with diabetes is large, remembering that this is just one of over 100 possible patient groups who will benefit from augmented vibrotexture insoles.
Beyond our beachhead market, we will explore future diverse market opportunities. For example, gait training for children with developmental delays, which may attract NDIS reimbursement. Whereas for other general wellness markets, such as sports performance enhancement and motor vehicle driving, we'll create a lower price point version. Our existing textured and vibratory insole prototypes will be combined into a single prototype over the first 9 months through co-design with end users and neurometric tuning. Following validation testing with patients, we'll trademark design features and register our product with TGA and FDA and obtain CE marking. Our beta product launch is planned for October 2023. Insoles are a routine therapy in neuropathy, offering a clear route for translation into a consumer product. To facilitate smooth market entry, we'll educate clinicians and liaise with private health funders to ensure our innovation satisfies the criteria for reimbursement. Prize funds will be expended on items to achieve value inflection milestones, specifically equipment, personnel, and consumables to tune our insole design, bionic materials to manufacture our technology for validation testing, and participant recruitment costs. My father's diabetic neuropathy continues to worsen. Augmented Vibrotexture insoles offers him and many others with foot sensory loss a new solution to help improve safe, active and independent living.
Well, that was just another wonderful overview of the project, and congratulations, Anna. I'm sure your father is also very, very proud of the work that you've done, and very, very proud to hear that you've won this prize with the rest of the team. It's a really exciting moment, and I think there's been so much feedback too through the social media that we've done around your project, just that many people with neuropathy, obviously diabetes educators across Queensland as well as around the world can really benefit from this innovation.
How's the feedback been at your end, Anna, for you and the team?
Oh, fantastic. It was a great outcome and we're just incredibly grateful for this recognition. Just having this opportunity to progress our bionic insoles a little bit further towards commercialization and just to be able to help bring about health benefits for our target patient groups and consumers. It was really exciting.
Wonderful. I love your analogy of the early warning of someone who can't detect that they're going to have a fall. And I think that was a really wonderful model for people to understand immediately where you'll intervene and the benefit you'll have for so many people where that becomes such a pressing issue as they age and want to retain that mobility. So we're so excited. I mean, tell us, if that's successful, like what's the impact you'll have on these people's lives?
Oh, huge. Foot complications in people with neuropathy are massive, and it's one of the things that really leads to disablement and impacts the mobility. And I'm sure my team member, Sherry Hearn, would like to comment on that as a podiatrist, and she sees firsthand the impact on patients, and this indeed was one of her patients.
Yeah. Speaking of your team, I think I can see Sherry. Do you have other team members on the call?
We do indeed. So there's Sherry and Ingves.
Let's bring Ingves and Sherry up on the spotlight so we can share the moment with them as well.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And Sherry, I think that was your patient. Tell us what you think it means for your patients to start. I love the combination of the academia and your wonderful published papers, Anna, as well as Sherry, your application of the work in the clinic as you're going along. Just makes you really that powerhouse. Not to mention the EU team backing you up with innovation and science and access to tech.
Yeah, I would have loved to play more of Jane's quotes, actually. Anna's heard them as well. And she literally said, like, it would be a game changer for her, just being able to go out of the house, walking on uneven terrain with more confidence. And I think, you don't appreciate how much of an impact this has on people's life when they just can't go to a party confidently without knowing they've got somewhere to sit or a rail to hold on to. And just that, in her words, it was going to be a game changer for her.
I love that you wanted to go to a party, not just go shopping, not drive a car, just to go to a party.
Well, you sometimes need extra balance, I might say.
Yeah, that's right.
It's required.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Congratulations again. Tell us, and the winning of the prize, tell us where that funding will help take your project faster, further, better. Tell us with your partnership with the EU team, with Walk with Path, just shine a light on where this will sort of open more doors for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, look, the prize funding will be invaluable. It will help to just further the team's multinational and interstate collaborative efforts. So with Ingves in New South Wales, we'll be able to tune our insole design a little bit better using microneurography. And together bring together the insole designs from our industry partner in Europe and together with the insole designs we have in Australia, just bring those two together to create a new insole innovation. And I think as well, just the mentoring and acceleration program that we'll receive, I think that will be critical just to guide us through all the regulations and red tape to be able to enter markets. And just to be able to operate alongside our industry competitors. So, yeah, a wonderful outcome.
Wonderful. It really does take a global village to raise a digital bionics child, doesn't it?
Does indeed.
Congratulations again. Thank you so much for your participation. You've been wonderful to have on board this year, and we're so pleased to see you moving on through this challenge and hopefully using those funds to greater success. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Excellent. Thanks, guys.
Well, congratulations to the winner of the Bionic Implants and Organs category, Dr. Fari Ahmadi and her Laronics team for their project, the Laronics Voice Box, non-invasive wearable voice prosthesis for larynx amputees. Wonderful work.
Imagine living one day without your voice. This lasts a lifetime for laryngectomy people who lose their larynx in advanced stages of throat cancer. The existing standard of care to help these people is a plastic valve that is surgically placed between the windpipe and footpipe. It is invasive, it is surgical, it gets infected, and it may lead to food leakage to the lungs. As the result, more than 500,000 laryngectomy people around the globe have to live a lifetime of voice disability and isolation, and sadly, they have the second highest suicide rate among all cancer survivors. Well, not anymore. My name is Dr. Fari Ahmadi. I'm the founder and CEO of Laronics, Australia's leading medical device startup developing Bionic Voice, the world's first and only smart, natural sounding artificial voice box for laryngectomies. Our device works by non-invasive measurement of respiration. We monitor patients' respiration using pressure sensors placed on the neck. We pass these pressure readings to an electronic device, and inside the device, there is a model of human vocal folds that synthesizes an exceptionally ultra-realistic, natural sounding quality for the patients in response to the variations of their respiration. We have built this device in multiple form factors. Our beta device has been tested with multiple patients. This is a sample quality of a conventional artificial larynx
I'm engineer, I'm robotic,
and Laronics minimum viable product.
Hello, my name is John and I'm from New York. And I hope you have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Laronics has received a very warm welcome from clinicians around the globe, especially in US and Australia. We also have several patient endorsements from patients who have tested the device and loved the quality of the voice. In our preclinical trials, we tested Laronics voice prosthesis against other voice prosthesis for laryngectomies. And we are super excited to say that we generate a slightly better voice quality compared to anything in the market, in addition to remaining completely non-invasive and non-surgical. Our device, however, requires around 4 weeks of training, but our patients in our customer discovery research have been happy with that, given the advantage of the quality that they receive. Laronics belongs to the umbrella of deepfake voice, or synthesizing natural voice using artificial intelligence, or AI. This is a $700 million market growing fast at 30%. In the laryngectomy bionic voice subsegment, this is a $220 million market growing at 5%, but there hasn't been much innovation in this niche market for over 30 years. Our business model is a razor and razor blade model based on a one-time sale of the electronic prosthesis and an ongoing sale of its disposables, both of which are typically covered by reimbursement plans. And we are currently working on developing a reimbursement strategy for Laronics. The other strong advantage of Laronics is that battery-powered artificial larynx devices are FDA Class 1. This means that we have a very short time to market in terms of regulatory approval. The technology has been assigned from Western Sydney University to us on an exclusive worldwide license, and we have also protected that with a patent. Our go-to-market strategy is going to the most prominent hospitals in laryngectomy voice sector, trial the device with them, and then get their endorsement and go to the other hospitals that will follow their lead. We have tried to bring the best and brightest to the team. I have been the scientific lead of bionic voice research in Western Sydney University. Our team also spans from user experience, world-leading experts in using AI to synthesize natural voice, business development, quality management system, and the art and science of bionic voice development. In 2021, Laronics managed to close its seed round with the help of Australian angels. We are also super excited because Laronics has been recently awarded a prestigious Australian grant that will cover the clinical trials of our technology. We have several strategic partnerships, and we have also been through multiple excellent accelerator programs. With a 25K offer, we can receive TGA approval of our device in Australia. With an offer of 50K, we can also run a clinical trial of the device in Queensland. So to summarize, Laronics is a spin-out of a pioneering research in bionic voice design. Our preclinical trial has been successful and has been published in PLOS ONE journal. When published, we immediately grabbed media interest as a discovery that has changed bionic voice design worldwide. The technology is an FDA Class 1 with a very short time to market. There's also a strong demand in the market from people who need a better voice. The core deepfake voice technology of Laronics is also applicable to a wide range of applications because we have mastered the art and science of converting bad voice to sound natural. We are very pleased and excited to have participated in Bionics Challenge this year. And if you'd like to talk to us, now is the time. Thank you.
Congratulations, Farah. That really is an amazing series of events that you've been through to get today. And we're really excited to have you in the Bionics Challenge because you've obviously worked overseas. You've done some preliminary research and development in Japan, in North America. And we're very lucky now that you've based yourself in Queensland. So we were very delighted to have Farah in this competition.
Likewise, I mean, I've been very fortunate to discover Bionic Queensland actually around 2 years ago. And thanks for the opportunity, absolutely. And I wish to thank the sponsors, MAIC, for this prestigious award. And a special thanks to Dr. Robin Stokes and yourself and Dr. Dimitri Dornan for everyone that is somehow affiliated or close to Bionic Queensland. Stick to these two wonderful people. They have actually gone out of their way to nourish an ecosystem that is very hard to develop. We have personally suffered through being in somehow taking the roads not taken. So it's quite amazing that you are doing this, and I personally wanted to thank you all.
Wonderful. Thank you, very well deserved, and as in the thanks for Robin and Dimitri, absolutely. And you do know those challenges, don't you? And I loved in your presentation how you're already competing and in fact improving on the deepfake community's efforts, and you're also navigating so well the IP and regulatory areas, and you're so deeply involved in accessing the marketplace. I think that really thoroughly impressed the judges, how in contact you were with the target audience you're looking to solve for, and the idea that you actually have a market ready to crack open. Can you tell us a little bit about how this $50,000 will help you and your team get into that state of readiness to tackle that marketplace?
Oh, absolutely. This will be much useful for us because we can get our TGA registration in Australia. Our device is non-invasive, so with TGA registration, we can actually start our initial sales, hopefully by mid-2022. So in that sense, it's going to be excellent. The other thing that we sort of lacked was having clinical partners and some clinical trials in Queensland where our home is. So in that domain, we have also requested 25K to build some sample devices and then run a trial locally, which is the most important thing because the local test gives you the most important data that you need to keep iterations of the device. So it will push us far ahead in those two domains. Yeah.
And Farah, it's been great to see the interest from ENTs as well, both in Brisbane as well as Sydney and southern states. You've obviously spent some time building those relationships, and there's a lot of interest, which is great at the clinical level. So I think actually the biggest issue will be managing expectations sometimes. You know,
absolutely. Somehow, I mean, this is very interesting. We are not forgiving at all around quality of the voice. I mean, there is an understanding that a bionic limb may be slower, for example, compared to a normal limb, but voice production is one of the fastest movements of human body. We have time limits of milliseconds, and people are very impatient around very little deteriorations to the quality. So the expectations of this technology is already high. But one thing that, well, I'm a humble member of the team, so the work is also the work of a team. But one thing that we are specifically fortunate to have is the support of world-leading experts in natural voice synthesis from Nagoya University of Japan. Who have done me the honor of joining the team here. And in that domain, in terms of technical know-how, we have good support, and I'm very glad about that.
Oh, that's wonderful. Looking at the other products in the market, as you define and refine that product, the known reimbursement code's ready to go. So you know you have a price point that you can tackle and get that market adoption. It's very exciting. And tell us, what will we see next? What's going to be the next big blip on the radar that we'll see as we monitor your meteoric rise, I'm sure?
I mean, we had two excellent news this week. The other one was we won an accelerating commercialization grant, which basically enables us to run our product adoption in US and Australia, so concurrently with two prominent hospitals. And that's coming in a year. So, but we wanted to get endorsements of the device from key opinion leaders, and the best way to do that was basically to run some sort of a product adoption with them. So that's happening. We basically our MVP is functional. In this line of work, we are miniaturizing the size, and through those product adoption phase, by the end of next year, we should hopefully have those endorsements to step strongly into the market.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations again. Thank you so much for your participation. And I'm looking forward to seeing. Oh, yeah, that's not
already raising that. I'm actually controlling myself. Yeah.
Oh, you've dressed up nicely. You might as well have a shower.
That's right. And if I may, thank you. We are deeply honored and flattered. And if I also may say something to the teams that are earlier, and they have like the advantage of being close to Bionic Queensland, the first years are the hardest. The first year of Laronics was officially the hardest. We got rejected on every grant that we applied to. And then we started with very humble steps of friends and family, very small grants that we received. So if you have the benefit of knowing Bionic Queensland, stick to them, and they're going to guide you, and you're going to get there. And it's normally just a matter of time. I'm very happy that the ecosystem is being shaped, and I especially want to thank Dr. Robinson and Vanessa for going through these massive efforts. I know that it's a lot of work to shape the community of future builders. Thank you.
It's very generous of you to say so, Farry. We really do love what we do. I mean, the concept of changing lives is central to what drives us. We're very early days, and we will look for further funds and obviously build out the Bionics Deep Tech mentoring to a greater extent as well in the coming years. So we would encourage people to continue to apply in subsequent years, because we will look to really deepen and expand the opportunities that arise from it. So I appreciate your comments, Farry.
Thanks again, guys. Really appreciate that.
Thank you. Okay, let's roll into our last of the major category winners, the Bionics brand, Neurotech and AI. So let's play the little show reel, and we'll come to you, Dimity, and announce that and go into the video. So.
Well, the winner of Bionics, the Brain, Neurotech and AI category is Casey Fluger and Amy Rose Goody of Cortex Brainwave Technologies. And congratulations to you all, guys. Their project, Cortex Brainwave Technologies, neurosensor and brain-computer interface. And now we're going to go to the video.
Hi, my name's Casey, and I'm the founder of Cortex Technologies. I never saw myself as a startup founder. I was content as a university neuroscience researcher. But what changed everything, and the reason I founded Cortex, was the birth of my daughter. My daughter Ingrid has ADHD and autism, which has a significant effect on her everyday life. I see my daughter struggling every day in ways that I know inside and out, because you can't tell from looking at me, but I also have ADHD and autism myself. And I would do anything to help my daughter access the treatments she needs, even if it means I have to build it myself. Imagine dealing with brain fog, difficulty concentrating and coordinating, as well as skin sensitivities and difficulty in concentrating. That is what people with ADHD and autism, as well as brain injury, live with on a daily basis. The problem we are solving with Cortex is the access for people with disabilities to high-quality neurofeedback therapy, a form of treatment using biofeedback to improve brain function and quality of life. At Cortex, we are determined to help people with diagnosed brain conditions by building a high-quality brain-computer interface, BCI, neurofeedback therapy device. Neurofeedback is a clinically validated form of game-based biofeedback that optimizes brain function using therapy games linked to brain activity in the user. Neurofeedback is validated by more than 20 years of clinical research data and is a recognized clinical treatment for ADHD. The current gold standard for neurofeedback is an EEG cap on the head with added electrolyte gel injected in place. Our solution is a near-infrared based sensor that is able to penetrate deep into human tissue, including the brain, to measure where nerves are active or inactive. The response time for EEG is slightly faster than for near-infrared, but EEG is unsuitable for home use due to the disruption that the high levels of electrical interference in the average home environment cause to EEG signals. EEG measures the surface of the brain, whereas near-infrared can access up to 8 centimetres into the brain. We can also tune our sensor to measure at different depths inside the brain. Movement is unsuitable for EEG, but not for near-infrared. The users of our device often find it difficult to stay still long enough for an accurate EEG reading. Our headset will be portable and wireless for ease of home use and to allow users to move. Unlike our competitors, our BCI sensor works through hair on all skin colours, is compatible with movement, lightweight, and has a short setup time. Our novel optical interface significantly improves both signal quality and sensitivity. Our beachhead market is the near-infrared medical sensor market with an IP-protected product that is a saleable sensor. The near medical sensor market has a total available market of 113 million to 200 million, growing at a CAGR of 6.1 to 12%. Our BCI market pathway is B2B via established medical device distributors. In terms of commercialization, the market will expand into gaming, remote monitoring, IoT, and performance improvement. Gaming and consumer electronics is an obvious future path to market. However, we understand that if we start with a non-medical device, it will be difficult to move into the medical device market where we can see significant market scope and size and the ability to make a real impact in the lives of so many. Phase 1 sensor distribution will be B2B IP licensing, with Phase 2 in our BCI distribution being primarily B2B sales. We will build reimbursement around B2B distribution and non-exclusive licensing of our novel sensor intellectual property. We have been approached by 41 Medical, who are establishing 61 Medical, a medical device sister company in Australia. 41 Medical have an established track record in medical device development and registration, and we have a firm undertaking with 41 Medical to enter their established medical registration pathway for entry into the international market once our sensor tech is further along in the industrial design pathway. We will continue to consult with experts in the Applied Neuroscience Society of Australasia, the Queensland Brain Institute, University of Queensland Centre for Clinical Research, Griffith, QUT, and USC in developing our device. Our Phase 1 neurosensor prototype provides proof of concept. It is generating high-quality blood flow and oxygenation state data, and it's easy to set up and use. We are now seeking seed funding to move to Phase 2. Phase 2 entails refining our sensor software for brain measurement and building the Cortex BCI therapy headset, which utilises many individual Cortex neurosensors to track whole brain activity. We require $2 million to complete industrial design, manufacturing optimization, and quality systems. And we will require $30 to $50 million to complete the regulatory approvals process. We will use the $50,000 from Bionics Queensland in sensor optimization, industrial design, and IP. Our sensor has uses in other bionics and medical devices. They need high-quality sensor components for high-quality data and output. Our team's strengths are in medical research, BCI tech, research and development, business management, electronics, software, and clinical neuroscience. We are working with commercial collaborators, including Clandestine and Carbon Circuits, to further develop and optimize our sensor. We have confirmed our collaboration with 61 and 41 Medical, which will begin in our next stage of sensor development. We also have strong connections with Partech Brisbane, who can provide us valuable resources as far as manufacturing optimization. We are fortunate to have the opportunity to work with such an amazing group of advisors and collaborators. Thank you. And with your help, we will help people like my daughter to live lives less affected by their neurological conditions.
Casey and Amy Rose and team, heartfelt congratulations. It's so wonderful every time I see you present and talk about your project, Casey, and just what that means to you with your daughter as that motivation, and indeed yourself at times as well. You really wear your heart on your sleeve, and you've been a wonderful contributor to this whole project. Just tell us how you're feeling with picking up this award, and of course the substantial cash prize that'll help you get that IP and other steps taken. Just on mute there, mate.
We're still trying to adjust to the news. Wow, this is fantastic.
That's wonderful. And tell me, what's the first step you'll take? So money hits the bank. What are we doing? Where are we going? What are we going to see next?
We've already got everything lined up to move to our next stage prototype, where we no longer have our big wire sticking into power everything. Everything becomes a wireless modular device, as well as starting to move into our design phase on the BCI headset. So yeah, really exciting stuff.
Wonderful. Can we bring Amy Rose up? I think she was on the call as well. If we could spotlight both of you. Knowing it's always a team effort. If the team's there, lovely to have you both on the screen. How are you, Amy Rose? Welcome. You're on mute there.
I'm amazing. I find it really unfair that I can't tell anyone right now.
Excellent.
That's the only thing I'm whinging about, but it is just an absolute pleasure. But a pleasure really to go forward with the Bionics Queensland Challenge from here onward. We're going to get like another amazing opportunity to accelerate what we're already doing. But I know the impact of the media and the social media and the opportunities that come from that alone. Without the money, that opportunity itself is going to be incredible for us. And alongside this cohort, so being among this brilliance is an absolute pleasure. And I'm so, so grateful to everyone at Bionics Queensland.
Wonderful. Robin?
Yes, and Amy Rose, you've obviously, yourself and Casey, you've got fantastic plans ahead for further design, the prototype work to still build. What are your aspirations for the next couple of months, like looking ahead over the coming months, for example, the rest of this year now as a result of the work you've done so far?
Well, Casey and I are excited about fine-tuning. So I'm really excited about fine-tuning the business side of things and getting all of our I's dotted and our T's crossed. Casey is also really determined to optimize the sensor and make it a little less ugly so that we can attract some further growth and some further investment perhaps. I guess just making what we already have even better.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I think the human impact of what you're aiming to do, I mean, in your particular case as a project, I guess among all of the entrants, you know, it really is people with families, busy grassroots innovators, like not lecturing in universities or even have had access to large-scale R&D grants. So you're really in a category here where this particular prize we know will be really, really beneficial to your next step, but also I think the mentoring as well. You've stayed, I think the one thing I can say, last year you did win an Early Bionics Innovation Award, and you really stuck it out with Bionics Queensland, and we kind of had lots of mentoring with other expert advisors as well. I mean, Laura Falconer, for example, who's involved this year, she's certainly stayed the journey as well to see how you're travelling. So it's the big thing this year, I think, for startups in the competition is that we've got really an array of people that are interested specifically in startups that are already in place. And that includes, of course, Morgans and others that are FB Rice and others that are involved in the competition in the way of sponsorship this year. So I think certainly the IP, the legal, etc.
I would absolutely.
I think also
I would absolutely encourage anyone who's participated this year, and whether you get an early innovation prize or whether you get one of the major prizes or you don't get any of the prizes, there's still a massive amount of benefit you can have from the mentorship you can get from Bionics Queensland and the associated people around them, as well as the team members here. We are always available to help. If we can help you, we will help you. If we can connect you to people that we know that can help you in your project, we will help you. So reach out to us.
I think you've demonstrated that, Casey, well and truly. So I really thank you for those many contributions along the way as well. It's been really valuable and greatly appreciated. And one thing I really have enjoyed when I've heard you, especially in the Q&A sessions, and even at times when you've dealt with questions that you might have found challenging on the spot, you've dealt with it so professionally, but you've understood intimately the challenge of the people you're trying to satisfy or solve with an accurate sensor where they may not welcome the stimulus or the contact of other devices. And I think your depth of appreciation and empathy for the thing you're trying to solve for your target user is really wonderful. So really hoping that stands you in great stead for the next steps.
I think one of the things too with your project, the interest of neuroscientists of Queensland Brain Institute and others in seeing where you take the program, the therapy program, has been something that's come to light through the competition. There's the quality of the neurosensor and the development with that, but beyond that, it really is the quality, the outcomes of the therapy that you'll develop, and having inputs from QBI and others is going to be really beneficial. So that's really good. Looking forward to that.
So congratulations again, and enjoy putting that support to good use, and we can't wait to track you on the journey. Look forward to working with you through that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so that concludes our major category announcements. We're going to move into our National Innovation Prize, and we're going to start that one with a pre-recorded video from our major sponsor. So let's wait for that now, and then Dimity will come in, and then we'll have the pitch video from your team, Nigel, and then we'll come to you for Q&A as you've seen. So let's go to the pieces in the can, and we'll come back through.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brian Sheehan from Morgans Financial. And it's my pleasure today, on behalf of our team, to announce the winners of the inaugural National Bionics Innovation Prize, a key highlight of the Bionics Challenge 2021. The Bionics Challenge is a unique Queensland-led national contest designed to encourage the fast-tracking of medical bionic innovations. Innovations that may have the ability to change the lives of those living with trauma and injury, complex disabilities, and chronic disease. This year's prize of $25,000, plus mentoring by by corporate advisory team at Morgans goes to Dr. Nigel Greenwood and his diabetes neuromatics team. Dr. Greenwood's team have devised an innovative artificial pancreas for people living with highly unstable type 1 diabetes. Dr. Greenwood's new software utilises machine learning and artificial intelligence used to better understand a patient's diabetes condition and therefore enable better management. The solution includes a wearable microdosing insulin pump, and the advantages of the innovation is that it enables highly accurate insulin dosages, not available so far to those currently living with particular types of severe diabetes. In partnership with Bionics Queensland, Morgans is proud to support the first ever National Innovation Prize within Bionics Challenge 2021. We have strong ongoing focus on emerging medtech technologies, including bionic devices, treatments and technologies. We're already working with Australia's leading medical bionic firms, and it's vitally important to support the industry's future leaders. The mentoring component of the prize is something we're particularly excited about, and we will soon be working directly with the winners through the Bionics Challenge Deep Tech Mentoring Program to equip them with a range of insights on finance and capital raising. Thank you once again to the team, and congratulations to all the entrants, and certainly keep up the good work.
Well, huge congratulations to Dr. Nigel Greenwood and his diabetes neuromatics team for your great project, DNX, pancreas software and novel artificial intelligence, brain-computer interface and breakthrough pump system. And well done to you. Now we'll have a look at your video.
Thank you very much. Hello, I'm Nigel Greenwood, and we're Diabetes Neuromatics. We're building the world's first genuinely machine intelligent bionic pancreas suitable for the people who need it most. Now, of course, type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disorder that kills all the insulin-producing cells in the human pancreas. So people with type 1 have to take medical insulin daily for the rest of their lives. Problem is that dosing insulin appropriately is difficult. There's a stability spectrum in type 1, and everyone else working on artificial pancreas candidates are building for the wrong end of the spectrum. The key issue with diabetes is that although the structure of diabetic glucose insulin dynamics are well understood, the actual parameter values, the numbers for each individual are highly individual. And so dosing insulin is difficult. If you have unstable type 1, it's extraordinarily difficult to achieve adequate glycemic control with insulin dosing as things currently stand, which is further then compounded with a cycle of anxiety. This has profound crippling effects in terms of the costs of medical care with poor glycemic control is crippling to both the individual and indeed to their insurers. To get a sense of the global market, well, in the United States alone, in 2020, poor glycemic control cost the US economy $22.5 billion per year. This is pre-COVID. COVID is believed to exacerbate things further by increasing the incidence of type 1. That's not confirmed yet, but it appears anecdotally to be the case. So our competitors, where do they sit? People with no form of artificial pancreas, about 25% of them can stabilize their blood glucose more or less adequately. What our competitors do is move that over somewhere midway on the spectrum, but they all ultimately fail. And the reason why they fail is that there's a sort of a technological gradient. Conventional control theory, which is the actual algorithm of designing insulin doses, it ultimately fails when the ambiguity and the instability gets too high. So all of the competitors ultimately fail because the basic problem is one of mathematics. So we've designed our own bespoke algorithms suitable for highly unstable type 1. The original conception was a user-in-the-loop form of the tech that we call Shows Me, whereby the AI suggests insulin doses, but the human user actually manually programs them. The key features that we have, again, over our competitors is that we build coherent personalized models. And for us, personalized is 36 parameters for the endocrine system of each individual, as compared with at most 6 parameters for our competitors. We handle complex meals, and our AI not only advises insulin, it troubleshoots implications of possible ambiguities. We scale to complexity, so as the various technologies get better, so too does our algorithm. This technology was all validated by a panel of international judges in the IBM Watson AIX Prize. We achieved 4 world firsts here. And as a consequence, we were listed as one of the 10 semi-finalists in the X Prize in 2020 worldwide, the only one outside Europe and North America. This is the technology in action. We get medical history and literally evolve coherent models, multiple models, and then the AI translates that into a dosing strategy. This is the user in the loop version, which is shows me. Then if we fully automate it, we can improve a significant improvement yet again. So this is the fully automated bionic pancreas. The key problem here was that we needed an insulin pump that was capable of micro bolusing. And fortunately, we found one made by SFC Fluidics in the United States. So I've partnered with them to build the AI pod. So this is their pump. It achieved breakthrough device designation in 2020. We're also going to add an additional sensor for anxiety and distress and hypodetection. We've got a very strong IP position in patents and strong traction and recognition, including being showcased by the UN at the Global Summit in 2019. We have a strong team that's internationally eminent, both in the technology and in commercialization. What would we use the funds for were we fortunate enough to win a prize? First of all, we'll build the controller in a clinically appropriate computing tablet, which we can then show to investors and clinicians. Then we would interface with the pump and the sensors. At the same time, we would be using that same controller in the clinical study for Shows Me, the pocket endocrinologist. And again, because this is user in the loop, creates comfort and while we demonstrate the efficacy and safety of the underlying technology. Then we would translate this over into the bionic pancreas itself when dealing with customers and medical insurers. That's the roadmap for the regulatory and commercialization pathway, with the top line being the user in the loop. And then we'll do the clinical trials for Stabilizers Me with the release of 2024. Strong available markets with big revenue figures being expected. And initially, again, Shows Me, user in the loop, create comfort in the technology before then managing the translation over into the automated bionic pancreas. Alternatively, we could float the price by collaborating with the medical insurers during the clinical trials, establishing a strong value proposition for our eventual customers. So that's our broader capital raising strategy. Now, we've solved the key problem that's stopping an artificial pancreas for unstable type 1. Now it's time to disrupt.
Congratulations, Nigel, and your team. It's been so wonderful watching your presentation. Thankfully, I've been able to watch it 4 times. I've nearly understood what it is you're doing. But what I do know is if you're successful, you change the world. And I think that is so terribly exciting. Can you tell us a little bit about what this prize means for your team in tackling this intractable problem that you're starting to bend your head and your skills around and seemingly starting to make headway?
Yes, well, winning this prize is enormously important in terms of credibility and traction and organizing. Essentially, it's a moonshot. So we're first planning to do a clinical study with the user in the loop configuration and then build on that subsequently with this roadmap onwards and outwards. So it's going to be a challenging path. but it makes an enormous amount of difference when we have this kind of support to assist us in the next 2 years in first of all doing the user in the loop version and then moving beyond that to the fully automated configuration.
Yeah. And I love that you have those early go-to-market traction milestones as well. So it's not like you're waiting for the moonshot. It's not like the business can't progress, but as you go forward, the software licensing and the understanding and data and insights you build become marketable and valuable in their own right, don't they?
That's right, absolutely right. We've had interest from pharma because from their perspective, I mean, first of all, there are potential insights with the insulin dosing on a course scale, improving how they design their doses for different cohorts. And also from a research use only perspective, when they're developing other interventions such as drugs that affect insulin sensitivity for type 2 diabetes, the idea that when they're doing clinical trials in a research context, then there's a potential intervention that will denoise the problem of glycemic control is hugely important to them.
And Nigel, I think one of the things with your particular innovation, obviously the global market for type 1 diabetes is absolutely huge. We think about the different levels of intervention that your options with the product really, or the mix of elements that the innovation includes really offers a lot of options for the end user. And I think about Indigenous populations in Queensland and in Australia, that in itself is a unique segment with its own needs. And maybe if you can comment briefly to the types of end users, really that variety that you're seeing that could be reached by the different options that you're pointing to with the innovation.
Yes, well, I mean, that's one of the important things. Well, one of the problems with the artificial pancreas project, with the sort of the global race, is it tends to be dominated with an engineering mindset whereby you simply automate as much as you can, and that is the happy place. Whereas in reality, of course, different people strongly desire different levels of control and explainability, and certainly clinicians very strongly emphasize the importance of explainable AI. If you're going to have any form of AI, it must be clinically appropriate. So you have to have explainability, you have to have interaction, so that a clinician can look at a projected insulin strategy and say, well, what's the overall insulin on board you're projecting for this? And the AI has to be able to respond, and then the clinician can say, well, actually, I think that's a bit much. So let's lower that a bit and recompute, and it has to be able to do that. And those same issues also are echoed with the end users, that you have to have the ability for the user to say, well, what is it that you're proposing? And how does this interact with meals, with sleep, with illness, with exercise? And so you need a very sophisticated, from a mathematical perspective, you need a very sophisticated solution that's appropriate for a lot of individuals with a lot of different needs.
Wonderful. I think I can see Dr. Jenny Gunton in the background there. Dr. Jenny, would you like to join the call as well? We can bring you into the stream. I know you'd like to celebrate the moment with your team.
Yeah, it's really great news. And we've been working on this on and off for many years now. I have a number of patients who are basically just itching to go, and this will actually give us the seed funding to actually let them loose on it. Interestingly, I have a patient who used to work for IBM who has had her own go at looping her pump and
really?
Sensing. So she's very keen to try this out, because even from an IBM employee, she can't quite make it work. So it'll be great to get it into some of our patients and see how we go.
And Jenny, with the BCI, the brain-computer interface aspect, just tell us what your thoughts are on that inclusion.
Well, Nigel and I have had many discussions about this. People do things that people do, and so we need to have this adaptive component to the software, because most of us don't have the same routine every day, and many people will forget to plan their pumps and so on. So having these interfaces gives like the real life aspect to the glucose control. And what most people want with type 1 diabetes is not to spend all day, every day thinking about it.
Right.
This might give them that freedom.
Yes.
Fascinating. Isn't that so true? And having that understanding and insight when helping people, when you don't have the condition, right? You have to really walk in their shoes and deeply understand it. And I just love the idea of collecting myriad data points and then running that through the AI and just building and building and building on that until you can almost anticipate what's going to come next is so exciting.
And I actually love the fact that you've started at that brittle end of type 1 diabetes where it's highly volatile, because I think if you can really nail that difficult end, the end that others haven't managed to nail, I think you really will offer a wider value then across the full suite of diabetes. So I'm incredibly excited about that.
Me too. I mean, it's a moonshot, but we can really make out the moon quite clearly. And I think that if we wanted to find an ambitious project that actually changed the healthscape of the world, you're it. Yeah, so we're really so thoroughly excited that you're such a deserving winner, and can't wait to see where you take this contribution on your journey. So congratulations again, and well done.
And congratulations. Who's sitting there with you, Nigel?
This is Alex. This is my long-suffering coder. He takes my my computer code and makes it elegant, which is another moonshot all of its own.
Yes. Alex, I could tell, I could see through the screen your mind ticking away at the next little solution coming. So I'm very, very excited that you're here today as well.
Wonderful. Well done, team. Congratulations again. We can't wait to work with you through the next stages of the journey, and just wonderful to have you on board this year, and such deserving winners. So well done.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so that draws to conclusion our national and major category winners. Now we're going to go into a little riffing sequence where we'll spotlight each of the winners for the Bionic Innovation Awards, and what we'll do is bring each of you up into a spotlight, and then just give us a moment of pause, and that lets us have an editing cut point where we can then jump into a congratulations and some questions and just explore what it's meant to you and your team. So I think that will work.
Yes.
Okay.
So look, it's my great delight to speak and certainly announce the winners of the Early Stage Bionic Innovation Awards. This is the $10,000 prize, obviously sponsored by MACE Queensland. And it really enables us to give some important kickstart funds to projects. It enables particular parts of projects to get underway more quickly. And so the first of these Bionics Innovation Prize winners is Dr. Vanessa Bockazanian from Central Queensland University and her team. And we see now Vanessa just up there on the screen. Vanessa's project is about e-stimulation for those people that have had neurological injuries, spinal cord injury, paralysis, for example, caused by different trauma or accident conditions or neurological conditions. So the e-stimulation area has certainly grown markedly for its potential impacts in rehabilitation. And Vanessa, we're really, really pleased to see you here and pleased to have you as part of our winning suite of projects. So maybe give us a few comments just about where you'd like to go next with the project. You've got obviously a prize from us, but obviously other prizes or awards that we can potentially pursue as well.
Yeah, we are very grateful to have this prize and all the support from Bionics Queensland. You, Robin, you have been incredible to us. So we're very grateful for all the support that we got to disseminate this and to try to get our projects to the next steps. I think like it will really help to really work on the translation of the project into clinical practice. I think that's the main key that we're really interested in kicking start and doing it sooner rather than later, because we know that getting grants and getting money to do research, it takes so much time, and it's so unless you are a researcher dedicated academic, which we are not, we are mainly teaching based, so our limited time is really very constrained in terms of getting those big bucks. So this really help us at least get one of the main aims, that is to really translate our technologies to the clinical practice and to the end users. We really want to get results now. We cannot really wait because these people are having these issues now. These technologies have proven evidence, and we can continue working on that evidence, and that's something that we are committed to do. But we really want to provide people with physical disabilities a solution that they can use now. So I think this is really something very important, and this prize help that purpose. So we are really grateful that we are able to reach those people at least in that early stages, and then we can pursue further research to really help go into a more massive and have a greater impact and really reach those remote areas that are really important. We really want to put a priority in people that don't have access to healthcare and really need our help to at least have something that will improve the physical and mental health. I think that's a priority that we need to put on. And I'm amazed about all the other groups and the efforts that they put, and it's massive, the amount of support and evidence and resources, and it's really great. But we really need to remember there's people there that may not have access to anything remotely, and that I'm the voice of that. So I'm contributing humbling from my space to the people that really don't have access to anything. So
yes, and Vanessa, I think what I'd like to say is the Early Stage Bionic Innovation Award winners, really, when I look back to last year, we spent probably over the last 6 months, probably a lot more time. We've actually had a lot more time with those teams than some of the others, and that goes to applying for other grants. It goes to the partnership building, for example, as well. So I'm actually really excited. My heart actually, and my upbringing lives in Central Queensland. I have this view, as you do, that there's many people in regional Queensland that don't have access to the innovations. So you can expect me individually and personally and Bionics Queensland to stick with you to go forward with this project. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing. It's just taking the first step, and then everything will just evolve. We just need to, take the right step in the right direction to make things happen. So
wonderful.
We are truly grateful.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
Vanessa.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
And I would now move to our next.
Let's go back to Spotlight. Give us a moment, and then we can get an edit cut, and then we'll call out the next person, and they can bring the rod up in Spotlight. Cool. Steven Spielberg here, just, it's my show.
Yes. So our next project that I'd like to congratulate as a Early Stage Bionic Innovation Award winner is Dr. Antonio Bo's project. And this particular project is using VR and AR to deliver sensory experiences as part of rehabilitation for upper limbs. And Dr. Bo Antonio, he's working directly with Dr. Mathilde and others at the Metro North Health and Hospital Service. So it's a fantastic team effort across the University of Queensland, personnel, as well as personnel that are in Hurston Biofabrication Institute and in rehabilitation more generally over at the STARS, the new STARS facility at Metro North. So we'd really love to spend a little bit more time too with this project, just looking at other ways that we can support and mentor in the current month, in the months ahead. And perhaps if we can, have we got some people from the team here that we can, yes, we've
go.
Okay, yes.
Hi.
So I'd like to welcome you, Sue, to be part of our discussion here today, just to celebrate the award, which is, it's just fantastic, the work, as you know, that Dr. Antonio Bo, Alejandro and others are doing at the University of Queensland, and along with yourself, and also Mathilde at the Hurston Biofabrication Institute. So maybe if we can get you to talk a little bit more about the next steps with the project and a little bit more about the timing over coming months.
Look, thank you so much, Robin and Bionics Queensland. We're a really eclectic group. So we have Hurston Biofabrication Institute, the University of Queensland, and ourselves that are occupational therapists at the Royal Brisbane and Women's Hospital. So it's quite inspiring listening to the ecosystem that you've already established, and we're the new kids on the block. So we're really excited. In fact, we're also delighted that we're joining this environment of innovators. So our award, we think, will help us look at software development. So we're really focusing on translation into practice, and occupational therapists do upper limb rehabilitation for a whole lot of different patients when they're in an acute hospital or in a rehabilitation setting. So, yeah, we believe that this significant contribution will just help us to continue to take it to phase 3. And that's where we're going to be able to offer consumers more meaningful activities, and we'll be able to put it into the context for the acute hospital, for orthopaedic patients, for patients who have undergone trauma, and also in STARS in the rehabilitation sector. So we're really delighted that we've been included in such a prestigious group of people. And we hope one day to be able to follow the other teams and commercialise and make it more available for consumers.
Absolutely. I mean, the VR and AR aspect and that whole sensory experience, it's only just going to expand, isn't it? In occupational therapy, it's going to get much more prominent, obviously, as time goes by. And we love it that you're actually enjoying the process so much and being part of the challenge. And as you say, these things take time, but at some later stage, there'll be those opportunities to how can we translate this and take it out more widely? And that'll be great to work with you on that. Yes.
Congratulations, and thank you so much for joining us. Antonio will be very grateful, and well done to you and the team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. So now we have Mathilde. So Mathilde, you made a cameo. Are you ready for the real deal?
Yeah, we are.
All right. Robin will make a quick introduction, and then we'll bring you up onto the spotlight into the feed. So, yeah, thank you. Sorry, but that was my mistake. All these little slices at the top of the screen. So okay. I saw you.
So we're now congratulating Dr. Mathilde Balby and her very talented team from the Queensland Brain Institute based at the University of Queensland. And Mathilde and her team are working on the development of an individualised closed loop approach for stroke recovery. And I think this is a fascinating project because of that AI-enabled monitoring of brain activity and then looking at the customised approach to therapy. So Mathilde, if we can actually ask you and the team, wonderful team assembled there, just some of the things that having won this $10,000 prize that you'll be able to move forward with. It'd be great to hear that.
Yeah, first of all, thanks a lot for giving us the opportunity to be here. And we learned a lot during the entire process, and it has been it has been great. So something that the prize will allow us to do is to move forward with our research and get a high-performing computer that will allow us to really visualize and send feedback online, which is something that it's key for our project. And this will allow us to having our own in our own lab, and that's just fantastic.
No, I really love the fact that we've got a talented group of young female neuroscientists here that are really forging ahead. And Mathilde, I think you've got a new laboratory or new group that you've, do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, my group is very young. We just started here, and we're going to celebrate 1 year from the opening of the lab here at the Queensland Brain Institute. And for us, winning this prize is really like, a good starting point that validates the kind of research that we do and the importance of the research that we do. We obviously always look forward to implementing what we do in the clinics, and this is, winning this prize really tells us that we're going in the right direction. And thanks again.
No, that's great. And I think we're looking forward to also showcasing your work there at the Queensland Brain Institute over coming months. So congratulations again.
Well done. Excellent. Do you have the Petersons next, is it?
So our next Early Stage Bionic Innovation Award winning group is David and Andrew Peterson and their team, who are working on the Gyrite innovation, which is a haptic wearable that will assist with restoring vestibular balance. It'll enable those that suffer from a loss of vestibular function to remain upright. And in particular, the boys have developed this with their own mother's needs in mind. So that's just a fabulous motivation for this research. And we'd love to hear from you, Andrew and David, and indeed Glenda, who's with you there today.
Thank you. I just want to say thanks to start with for Bionics Queensland for running this and for Motor Insurance and the sponsors' involvement. So far, we've already got so much out of the challenge, like just the need to form a team around this as well. Our additional team members, I think, are online at the moment too. And then proceeding through the boot camps and stuff, we've actually developed and learned so much through this process just to get here. And so we're really looking forward to taking this the next step, reducing the size of our prototypes and getting into some user trials and refining the design from there. So that's sort of our next stage for development. And what really excites us about this whole project is that personal connection. And like so many of the other groups here who have that connection with one of the end users already. So our goal was to make that difference to people who have balance issues and hopefully restore some confidence and get them out and being more social.
That's
Absolutely.
Right.
And Andrew, your other team members, is it Graham and I think Aaron?
Graham and Aaron.
Can we spotlight those as well, please,
Yes.
Josh? Let's bring them into the feed so they can share the moment with you.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hey, Graham.
Yes.
And Aaron, hi. Congratulations.
Much appreciated. It's really innovative work. We're really happy to be part of this.
Yes. And it's very exciting. I think that you will be able to take that design phase to the next level as well. And I mean, it helps too to have industrial designers, I guess, as being part of the co-founding group, as well as the academic side of it and the practical and clinical end of it. So I'm sure as a team, it's looking like a roaring success. It might be off to a new start and great new stages to come, but it's looking great. And we're really looking forward to continuing on the journey, actually, with you all, so that we can offer additional support, additional mentoring, potentially look for funding as well to keep the project moving.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to the year ahead, and who knows, might be back looking at the major prizes next year too.
Oh, well done. And Glenn, you must be proud of your boys. Tell me you're not.
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
No, that's
They
wonderful.
surprise me sometimes.
Fair enough.
And
Well,
thank you for getting involved this afternoon,
Yeah.
Glenda. It's great to see you.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations. And really looking forward to tracking your success through the next 12 months.
Okay.
Is that? Might be us.
Yes, I think this is definitely us. Yes.
All right.
yes.
So, did we grab a seat? You'll be, I think, sit with me here. We're just arranging ourselves a little, and then we're going to, if you have a drink, charge your glass. We're going to have a little toast, if you will. I think, anyway, I'm hoping so. I don't know about anyone out there. I'm rather thirsty. And then, and then we'll just thank everyone. A couple of closing remarks, and then we'll wrap the session. I don't know about you, but I'm happy to stay on and we can have a bit of a chat and see how people are feeling after the session. I know you've all been on mute and being very attentive. Thank you for that. But let's just get our shot organised at this end, and we'll just have a quick chat about the year. And we're still on mic. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just getting ourselves arranged. There we
Wonderful. Okay, that's great.
Am I the meat in a Bionic sandwich? Is that how that works? Okay.
So it's been one incredible journey this year. I think with COVID and the whole backdrop of what that has done in terms of pressure to certainly our participants from interstate. This was our first year, Dimity, wasn't it, with the National Bionics Innovation Prize. So we did actually reach out to several hundred people around Australia to get them involved with this year's competition. And I must say we were delighted to see some really groundbreaking projects apply. One of the things we have learned out of this year as well is that obviously starting very early to educate the rest of the country about what the possibilities are through the challenge. That's a big thing for us, and we'll be certainly doing that next year. It's been great to have Morgan's Finance supporting that national prize. And of course, it's been fantastic to have Nigel Greenwood and team as a showcase winner. But equally, with Professor Laurent Prasad, with his fabulous work in the bionic limbs, osseointegrated limbs area, looking across to Dr. Anna Hatton and the Vibrotexture project, the Insoles, and our other project with a neurosensor. I mean, that's really going to have diverse implications, the brainwave, cortex brainwave technologies. And also, of course, Dr. Fari Ahmadi's Larynx voice box. I mean, Dimity, what an incredible lineup.
Oh, it's absolutely fabulous. And they've all done such an amazing job all the way through the awards. It's been great.
I think also our coaches taking us through the regulatory requirements, the IP needs. FB Rice, thank you so much for your help through that period as well. And Laura Faulkner, thank you so much for your support. I know the teams get so much out of your assistance with commercialization and mapping out and giving away invaluable IP of your own to help them to really progress quickly and take those shortcuts through to ensure their projects take the support we can give them, but then really get onto a self-sustaining or even opening up much larger funding as required. Some of these projects need hundreds of millions of dollars to be truly fruitful and in the world. And we're just so proud to be a journey, but a very important one. As Fari said so well, it is most difficult at the earliest stages. And these, we certainly hope these monies and support, and then the intangibles, as Casey pointed out so well, that intangible mentoring and support can really unlock that one key door you need to hit that next stage, can't it, Robin?
Absolutely. And I think too, something that we'd like to emphasise is that come through to mid-September, we'll be reaching out and we'll be kicking off our Bionics Deep Tech Mentoring. That's the 5-week or 8-week program customised to the needs of every winning team. We also involve not just our major category winners and our National Bionics Innovation Prize winner in that, but we also involve the early stage Bionic Innovation Award winners. So it's a great opportunity to do the thing that I think a lot of people have said over the last year is one of the greatest benefits of the Bionics Challenge, and that is the networking, the connecting with other people and their learnings. In particular, Farry, Nigel and others that have been working some years on a groundbreaking moonshot innovation in bionics. There's so much to learn from each other. So I think through the MedTech program, the training program that lies ahead, we'll be certainly doing a lot more interaction. So that's going to be a really, really big part of it.
Well, if I could invite our lovely stage hand to bring out a glass of champagne each, I'd like to propose a toast and thank Robin and Kerry for their amazing efforts in making this, this amazing Bionics Challenge come together, and to you too, Dimity, as our chair, for leading the way and helping us make all this possible, and to our wonderful sponsors, Motor Accidents Insurance Commission, and of course Morgans Financial and others who have supported us through this year. So here's cheers to you and to our winners. Congratulations.
Cheers. Here's to this year's winners, and best of luck with the year ahead. Congratulations to everybody.
Congratulations. Well done.
Congratulations.
Oh, that's good. I don't know about you, but we got mum. There must have been some money left in the kitty, in the spare change kitty. Thank you, everyone. Feel free to unmute and we can have a quick chat, as informal as we need. It's nice to, I love seeing the chat, by the way, and the idea of creating a chat group and creating a connection digitally to keep that connection amongst the teams. We'll definitely facilitate that if it doesn't happen organically, but we're happy to set that up. That's a great idea.
Sorry for being late. I think I'll give you the best scare ever.
I'm just glad you did it on a day that I was on time, so it made me look good.
That's right. I could have blamed you. I felt. All right. Thanks a lot, everyone. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Okay. Thank you.
How was it? Did it run well? I know you've sort of sat through the afternoon, but hopefully that was okay at your end.
Yeah, it was excellent.
Look good from this end.
It will look a lot better once we really tune it up a little bit and do a little editing. We'll all look amazing after that.
It feels a bit contrived. And sorry, Farry, you go.
I was saying, just as a side joke, Laronics realized that I need a hair consultant for my pitch day because my hair in the pitch was quite messy. I was like, I should do this hair that day. But yeah.
I saw you playing with it. I was wondering, but a gentleman would never say.
It's the rumpled look of a serious researcher, Farry.
Good. Thanks for putting that nicely. And congrats, Nigel. I mean, really, really well deserved. I'm very glad.
But out of today feels a little contrived at times because we have to sort of put little cuts in there. So it does feel a little stilted. But once that's put together, what we're really hoping is you all get little promo packs as well. So you can use that in your own promotional materials. So it does have those little cut and shut points at the beginning and end, but it lets you parcel it up and use it in your own promotion and social media work.
Absolutely, yes. And, it's been good to have everyone involved today. On Wednesday, we've got another media conference, of course, or not another one, but the actual media call and the announcement to the media. So we'll certainly be reaching out to our major category winners and the national prize winner to bring you all back together on Wednesday, in person too, which is quite amazing, really, for this year.
Wouldn't it be great if we did this in like the final became an event physically if we get COVID sorted?
Yes,
we had to work our way through that this year. Of course, the Olympics was inspiring, but nothing compared to your round one pitch days, honestly. Much better viewing. So,
do we know what time is it on Wednesday?
I think they're targeting 11 a.m. But I'll have to confirm that tomorrow. And of course, with media, things change all the time. But I'm hoping that having such a talented suite of innovators to put forward on Wednesday should encourage the media to turn up in droves.
Yeah.
And of course, for all of our other innovators that are not part of the major prize winners, we're actually continuing on with the publicity. We've had enormous interest and, frankly, really, really great stories in Rockhampton, haven't we, Vanessa? Yes.
Yeah, it has been quite massive here. Yes. And the ABC called me this morning. They wanted to know the results. And I said, I'm sorry, but we didn't wait. I was like, oh no. They were looking for the results online. I said, no, I'm sorry, you cannot say anything. Like, anything.
However, we have got, I must say, with P4, a fantastic group working with us, and they've been reaching out really all over the state. And of course, they'll be reaching out nationally to promote the Morgan's funded prize and to talk more about, obviously, the machine intelligent pancreas solution to media interstate. So that's going to be another project, Nigel, for us to get involved in, is the national media coverage with Morgan's.
Okay.
So I think for us, like, our dedication is such that I really want to lift the education about bionics and what it is in regional Queensland. I grew up in regional Queensland, which is why I encourage Vanessa every year to stick with me. We really do.
Give me lots of work, Robin.
I know. I might end up having to do some of these projects the way things are.
Vanessa might be happier if you pay for a removalist on the day she's
I know.
right.
I have a L5 radiculopathy as a result of it, and I can barely walk. So I can actually use some of the technologies on myself because I'm walking like a person with a disability at the moment.
Oh, if someone here can't help you, there's something wrong.
Yes.
I think that's the most exciting thing, that all of you people have teams behind you, and all of those teams together are sort of like a club who will mentor and help each other going forward. And that's one of the best parts of this whole competition or award.
And I think the other thing, can I just say, with the people that are more at the research stage and taking research to the next level, and clearly there's a pathway forward to translate that, but it's a little way off. And when I think about Mathilde with the QBI project that you're working on, we've heard quite a few suggestions this year that we do have a major research grant prize as well as having the innovation prizes that we have. We've had suggestions from our judges, which we hope will actually involve some of them supporting this, is to go to the $500,000 and $1 million level with some of these, the major category prizes and the national prize. And of course I said, yes, totally. I jumped on that.
It unlocks a whole other avenue, doesn't it? Because I think a lot of the work is definitely about commercialization. It's definitely about finding the pathways to funding and ultimately consumer or reimbursement, but along the way. But not every project's going to be ready for that just yet, but it doesn't make it unworthy. So there is a balance there to be struck, isn't there?
I think so. And I think this year we feel the gap between the early stage Bionic Innovation Award winners with 10,000 and the 50,000, and obviously we've got the $125,000 national prize. But really, the projects at the 10,000 prize level, they're amazing projects. So we don't see the cash prize equating with the quality or the impact of those projects. So
it's not a value assessment.
Not at all. But that is what we really want to change, is really get that funding level uplifted at the different prize levels.
So your support in the promotion or other work, really thank you for that, because that does help us have the caliber of materials that does attract that next level of stakeholders and participants. So thank you. We're all working on it together.
Well, we are, and you can expect me, as you all know by now, I don't tend to sleep a great deal. So I will be working very distinctly on attracting further
We need to send you some articles on how sleep is so important for your health. It's evident. Robert,
I know, I keep flicking.
You need to get those 8 hours.
I flick over those ones, Vanessa. Yes.
Stop sending her so many. She stays up late at night reading them.
Yeah, that's true. No. I can tell you the results. You don't need to read them. Just sleep.
The best part of all is the hope that you will give people out there who really, really need to find a solution for some intractable problem. And the hope that they'll have now after seeing this is just going to be amazing. And I wish I could see their face.
Yeah. So thank also for all of you that have someone working with you, like I know Vanessa, you do with Linda, isn't it? Yes, yes.
Leanne. Yeah.
Sorry. It's half a glass of champagne.
Yeah.
No, I really appreciated the time.
Yeah, and I think like even to have her involved in this project is has already changed the way she sees herself, and that's already a win for me. So even if we didn't win any money, just to make someone feel more confident and happier, it's already a win.
Yes, that's right. No, it's been fantastic.
Oh, these wins are great for the intangible. Casey, when you go back to your shareholder group, Mathilde, you're able to go back to your research lab and let them know about your prize. Anna, I'm sure, as you can share that recognition. It's the recognition as much as anything else that gives you that that badge that someone outside of the people you're kind of selling to has gone, actually, you're on the right track. This has got promise. So I think that can be really invaluable, even for yourself sometimes, to pump your own tires up and go, right, I'm going to keep at this and keep pushing. So congratulations to you all. It's lovely to meet you and work with you.
Yeah, and I think also you're making a change in how we see all these research grants and how to, obtain money for research for the purposes of improving people's lives. I think it's something that we really need to start shifting in terms of, because usually all the big research grants goes to these big labs that already founded and already have this structure behind them, and all of these early career researchers that we are really struggling to get on board. We can never get there because we don't have the big names behind us. So this really makes a shift in terms of giving the opportunity to these early career researchers that can really develop the research without having those names that we need to get those big grants. So I think that's something that is really important to highlight.
We actually have had a lot of call from students as well. They're wanting more direct involvement in the challenge, and obviously finding ways for students to be involved with projects as we've even had in the competition today. That would be really useful. And this is sometimes about being along for the journey. At other times, it's about maybe having a student competition or a student challenge in its own right. And I think that's going to be really valuable too. So we've got a lot of ideas. It's just a matter of getting through to our next year. And of course, we'll keep interacting and I think even consulting with you about what you think is the best track from here as well. So really appreciate it. So maybe cheers, and we'll see the key major winners and so forth on Wednesday morning, and we'll be in touch with everybody else very quickly to keep the ball rolling. So have a wonderful evening, everybody. Congratulations.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you. Bye-bye.